Hey guys, welcome to the Talks podcast. I'm Dr. Ingky.
I'm Dr. Ellie here, and we are two doctors who generally talk non-medical issues, a lot of worldly issues, and sometimes we just want to have plain good fun, talking about things that tickles the mind.
Yeah, so last week we spoke about
Entitlement
complex, all right? So now, this week itself, we're going to talk about something else, all right? Have you heard of the 10,000 hours to become an expert?
Yes, so 10,000 hours of doing something makes you an expert.
Makes you an expert. So it's a repetitive thing.
Correct.
You need to do 10,000 hours to become an expert in
Which
something.
is actually very long.
Which is actually very long.
It's about 8 years.
Yes. Basically, if you do like an hour a day or something like that, it takes roughly about 8 years to become an expert in just one thing. And how many 8 years do we have in our lives? You know, it's actually a limited amount.
Limited amount. Because by the time you actually want to do something, you are maybe in your 30s.
Yes, you know, and a lot of times once you have done that 10,000 hours, right, you're so entrenched in that one expertise, right, it's very hard for you to get out of it.
That is true.
Right? So most people kind of become expert in one thing and then it's gone already.
Master of one.
Master one. So,
Jack of nothing.
But do you know the entire the entire proverb? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
Do you know what's the ending?
Oh no.
It's better than the master of one.
Seriously?
Jack of all trades, master of none is better than the master of one. That means that, so a lot of people kind of skipped it.
Skip the center part.
Yes. No, they skip the end part. Right? They only focus on the center part whereby you're master of none. Now, what the proverb says is, I'd rather be the jack of all trades. I know one of everything.
A bit of everything.
A bit of everything, rather than I only know one thing
for the rest of my
right?
life.
So in today's topic, it's about 100 hours.
100 hours.
Just to become an expert.
To be an expert.
Right? 100 hours to become an expert. Now, there is a study, it came out in the 1970s, which predates the 10,000 hour studies.
So the 10,000 hours is later.
Is later, all right? The 10,000 hour study was the next step of this 100 hour study.
Okay.
So what a 100 hour study showed was, if you practice something for 100 hours, by the end of the 100 hours, you would be better than 95% of the people in the world.
95%.
Okay, I give an example.
Okay.
If let's say I do not know how to play a guitar.
Okay.
I spend 100 hours playing the guitar. At the end of 100 hours, I will be better than 95% of the people
Of the
around
population.
The world. Of the population.
Of the population. Not of the guitar players.
Not of the guitar players, but it puts me at the 5%
of the world.
Of the world. It means I am now the top of the top. Now, if you look, if you draw that particular the particular bell curve, right? I'm the top of the bell curve now, right? And this is just spending 100 hours. Now, 100 hours is not a lot, 100 hours is only 18 minutes a day.
In a year.
In a year.
In a year.
So if I spend 18 minutes a day playing the guitar for 1 year,
you will be an expert.
I'll be an expert in it.
How many hours a week?
About 2 hours a week.
2 hours a week. So if I do a tuition of 1 hour a day for 2 days a week,
2 days a week,
in 1 year,
you will be
better than 95% of the population.
Yes. All right. Now, that actually opens up your mind to a lot of things, right? Because I think when this video is out, it's already in the new year, and a lot of people have a lot of New Year's resolution, right? So
Happy New Year first.
Yeah. Happy 2023, right? So it also means that you do not need to commit so much time into doing something.
To do a new resolution.
Yeah. You only need 18 minutes a day. Trust me, 18 minutes a day it's very small. Most of you actually shower longer than that.
Shit longer than that.
You shit longer than imagine.
You play Candy Crush, it will take more than 18 minutes to finish 5 lives.
Imagine if you shit longer than 18 hours, but instead of just shitting, you multitask and you read a book.
But anyway, that's why most people are experts in shit.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine this. If this year I decide, let's say in 2023, I decide I want to pick up the guitar.
Right.
I put 100 hours in. At the end of the year, I'm better than 95%. The following year, I decide I want to pick up the piano. The following year, I decide I want to pick up a harp. Then following year, I want to pick up a flute.
In 10 years.
Yes. So imagine by the end of 10 years, and every year I pick up one music instrument. I just play 18 minutes a day. By the end of 10 years, I have 10 musical instruments that I know how to play.
Yep.
And for each instrument, I'm better than 95% of people in the world. And
you compound all of it.
I compound everything. I'm better than 99% of people in the world because I know how to play all 10 musical instruments fluently. All right. That's why there's a lot of times, right, when you see people, hey, why is this person so talented, so gifted. He knows so many things. Well, actually, it just means that he has put in his 100 hours.
In other words, also, right? If someone puts in 10 hours of training a day,
Okay.
in 10 days, the bugger calls himself an expert.
He could be an expert. Actually.
He could be an expert.
He
by
could
then,
be an
right?
expert.
Right.
By right, he could be.
And that's why we have so many experts out there.
Yeah. So, what this does, it actually opens up a lot of avenues. All right. Because a lot of times we think that
it takes too many hours, 10,000 hours. It
And
takes 8 years.
Yes.
Therefore, you limit yourself from actually wanting to do
we
something.
tend to give up very
we
easily.
give up fast.
All right. And hence, a lot of people, right? A lot of people around the world actually stop learning new things after they graduate.
That is true.
Because they realize
That is
it
true.
takes too long to
That is
learn
true.
new stuff.
Okay, coming back to 10,000 hours. At 10,000 hours, I'm sure when they did the study, it would have put them in a different percentile.
Yes.
2% maybe?
So basically, when you did the 10,000 hours, you are now world class.
World class.
World class.
Okay.
The skill that you have is now highly sought after and is world class. All right. Now you do not need to be world class. Example, if I want to cook, all right. If I want to learn how to cook, all right. Now I want to be a good chef. I do not need to be a Michelin star chef. I do not need to put in 10,000 hours to
is
become a
true.
Michelin star
That
chef.
is true.
But I want to be a damn good home cook chef. Home cook.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to put in that 100 hours a year. All right. So means that just 2 hours a week I spend prepping the food, cooking the food, all right, and perfecting whatever recipe that I have. At the end of the year, I'll be a damn good home cook, and that's all I need. I just need to be a damn good home cook.
Better than 95% of the people out there.
People around the world.
Actually, if you think about it, when a lot of us said, like for example, taking up a guitar. Yes, many people play the guitar. But if you look back in school, one class 40 students.
Yep.
1 year has what? 3 classes? 4 classes? 4 classes?
Yep.
How many people really play the guitar?
Yeah, not many actually.
Not that many, you
Not
know.
that many.
So if you take, let's say, 40 times 4 classes, 160, maybe only 2% or 3% plays the guitar. But of course, because you come in different years, so when they get it together, it looks like, oh, the school had about 10 people who play the guitar very well.
Yep.
But generally, it's pretty much 2 classes will produce only
correct.
1 person who actually plays the
That is
guitar.
right. That is right. That is right. That is right.
So it's not impossible
It's not impossible.
to be an expert
Yeah.
in something.
Yeah. It's not impossible. So now, majority of us kind of dabble in this 100 hours unknowingly.
Yeah.
All right, unknowingly. So how would I say unknowingly? Example. Let's say you're at work. All right. You are a medical doctor, and one day you decide, hey, I want to do a hair transplant.
Yep.
All right. Of course, when you first start out, you know nothing about hair transplantation.
Yep.
All right. So what you did was you studied about it.
Yep.
Okay. You probably put in a couple hours a day. You studied about hair transplant, theoretically and practically.
Yep.
All right. Imagine, and as you mentioned, imagine if you put in 5 hours a day, intense studying. All right. At the end of 20 days, now you're an expert. You're better than 95% of the people doing
95% of the other doctors.
You're better than 95% of the doctors.
Yeah.
All right. You have more knowledge of hair transplant. Of course, you're not the expert in hair transplant yet.
Not the master yet.
You're not the master. You're not world class yet.
But
you are better than 95% of the people.
Correct.
Now, imagine then you realize, hey, I am good. I can make a living out of this. And as you kept going on and on, then that's when your 10,000 hours slowly pick up.
yeah.
And at the end of it, you realize, hey, I have really 10,000 hours there already.
I'm a
now
certified
world-class.
master.
Yeah,
World-class.
I'm now certified master. I am now world class.
But in the meantime, do another 100 hours of doing something else.
Yeah, do another 100 hours about doing something else. So,
I think today's lesson is trying to tell everyone out there about don't limit yourself.
yes.
Don't set the limitation that you thought it takes a lot of time to master a skill, to be an
Yes.
expert in a skill.
Yes.
Yeah, you are not competing to be the top 1%.
Yes, correct.
You want to be top 5%.
Yeah, you just top 5%. Top 5%, right? You actually beat out a lot of people around the world already.
Correct. Actually, when you say top 5%, right, it sounds very nice.
It sounds very nice.
But when you just say I'm 5 out, the next 100 fellas, right? Suddenly, it takes away the punch a bit, you know.
True.
But the the statistics is still the same. You are top 5%.
You're top 5%.
You're top 5%.
So
you know something more than the other person.
No, imagine if I say you're the top 5% earner in the entire world. You know, your income's the top 5%. Wouldn't you like it?
Sounds good, right?
It sounds good.
Yeah,
Everyone
but when you
wants
take
to be top
7
5%.
billion times 5%, then you are not really that big. But
still,
you're still
better
top
than
5%.
You're still better than 95%.
So
of people.
remove the limitation of that big number and just focus on being top 5%.
Yeah. So end of the day, it goes to show it's never too late to learn a new skill. All right. It's not too many hours in a day. It's just 18 hours. Sorry, 18 minutes a day, 2 hours a week. That's it. You just do it consistently. It's basically something called compounding interest. You just do it little by little on a daily basis. End of the day, it compounds up. All right, and trust me, 1 year goes by pretty
Very
quickly.
fast. Very fast.
All of us were in the COVID. We stuck indoors. We
lost 2 years.
Yeah, we know how fast 1 year goes by.
We know how the Avengers felt. We blipped for 2 years.
So imagine, right? If you were at home just doing something 100 hours a day, 100 hours a year for 2 years, you have two skills that you know now. Right? Two skills.
In other words, if you did not have 2 new skills, we wasted.
It means you wasted. You wasted a lot.
Yeah,
right?
You wasted the opportunity to be an expert in two different skills.
Yes, in two different skills.
This is very interesting fact, though.
Yeah.
So, tell us, have you been in a situation whereby you had to learn something? And how long did it take you?
Yes, correct.
How long did it take you? And parents, if you're listening in, don't go and try and push your kid too much to be the top 1%.
Yes, correct.
Always remember, at 5% above the general population, that's pretty cool.
That's actually very cool.
That's actually very good.
It's very cool.
I think there's always an unnecessary pressure to be the best of the best.
Yes.
When it will then take out all the fun, and they end up learning a skill that they don't practice.
Yeah, correct. And as I was growing up, I'm always fascinated by people. All right, number one, who were very smart in class. Of course, they are not number one, but maybe they were 5th in class, 6th in class. They were very athletic. They played a lot of sports. Not in one sport. They could play football, basketball. They could run and stuff like that. And they could play 1 or 2 music instruments as well. And I always felt like these people are super talented. But what they did was they paid their dues. They paid their 100 hours. All right, it's simple as that. They just paid their 100 hours.
Rather than just being top in class, but not good at anything else. No, master of one.
Yeah. So you remember the saying, right? Jack of all trades, master of none is better than the master of one.
Correct. So jack of all trades, master of none is comma first.
Yes, comma.
Yes, it's better than master of one. Till then, we see you next week on another interesting topic on the Two Dogs. We are signing off. Dr. Ali here.
And Dr. Ingky, have a good weekend.